Hey guys, it's Michelle. Today's practice is called Build Your Own Shapes, the intersection of learning skill or being skillful in your practice, but also being very self-aware. So I believe that in yoga, it's important to learn the container or the framework of different shapes and postures so that you can move mindfully and safely without injuring yourself or bringing self-harm. But I also understand that we're all built differently. We all have different body proportions. We come to the mat with different injuries or different scar tissue, compensation patterns that we might have, or even just energy-wise, how we're feeling, different traumas, different life experiences. So when you come to the mat, also being acutely aware that you are unique. So perfectionism, grasping for something, forcing something is definitely an illusion. But knowing that what you have already here and now is perfect, that helps you build a really great practice. So come with me, practice in building your own shapes. Thank you. Hey guys, it's Michelle. Thanks for coming today. Today's yoga practice is called Build Your Own Shapes, the intersection of self-awareness and also skillful movement. So I believe yoga is a little bit of both, or a lot of bit of both, where you're learning some skillful movement in some shapes, but you're also building your own shapes. So let's get started. Sit quietly here for a moment. We'll spend about a minute here, just tuning into our breath and our body. Gently close the eyes. Start to notice your breath building in your abdomen, starting from the lower abdomen, taking a full inhale here. And then a gentle exhalation. Let's do that again, moving the breath deeply into the lower abdomen through the nose. Softening the jaw and exhale here, releasing the air through the nose. One more like that, full deep breath in and a relaxed breath out. Draw the palms to the heart. Slowly bow the head, committing to truly being ourselves today in our practice. Slowly blink the eyes open, lift the gaze, and release the palms. So we'll start in something called downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So go ahead and remove your blanket if you're sitting on one. And for a moment, just coming onto your belly, we'll build our down dog from here. Slide the hands back to mid-chest, so making sure it's not too far forward here. From here, draw the belly in, curl the toes under, and we'll just lift up to our knees in a knee plank. Roll the shoulders back, pressing up here. And then slowly noticing, not slowly, but noticing where your hands are. So that should be a pretty comfortable width for you. So coming back down, we'll do that one more time. The hands shouldn't be underneath the ribs, and they shouldn't be too far out either. You really just want them comfortably to the sides of the body, and you'll find that comfort level as you experiment. Draw the navel toward the spine, curl the toes under, press the hands down, and lift into a knee plank. And from here, continue to lift the hips up, lift the knees up, coming back into down dog. So you can make adjustments here according to how this down dog feels to you. But your hips should be in line with your feet, or your feet in line with the hips. The ankles are hiding behind, so you don't really see your heels here. Think about spreading your fingers far apart from one another. And go ahead and do that. And then wrap the outer edges of the upper arm down toward the ground. Let the head hang here. Take 2 breaths. And if this is too extreme for your hamstrings, go ahead and bend the knees here. Pull the hips up. Draw the hips up. One more. And then slowly walk the feet toward the hands. Coming into Uttanasana, and we have several options here. So you can take blocks right next to your feet and let the hands just rest on those blocks. You can take a deep bend in the knees and let the abdomen rest on the quads or the thigh bones. Let the head hang here. So as you're ready, you can Start to straighten the legs, trying to maintain that abdomen, drawing toward the upper leg. Then notice what you're experiencing here, how you feel in this forward fold. Is it awkward? Is it home? Is this something you repeat quite often? Is there something in your body you need to take care of? Readjust? Or are you ready to just enter into this pose for a moment? We'll rise to stand here, so slowly press through the feet. Bring your hands to your hips, lifting the spine up. Inhale, lift up, and draw the palms together at the heart. So we'll start with sun salutations, but we're going to build your own sun salutations. So I'll give you some guidelines, some things you don't want to feel, or things maybe you could feel that are beneficial and productive. But at the end of all this, just knowing that you're building your own practice today. So inhale, bend the knees, reach up with the arms, and feel really strong and sturdy here. So feet are underneath the hips. You're finding some support in the abdomen by slightly drawing in the navel. And then exhale here, we'll sweep the arms to the side, diving forward. We're trying to maintain a nice neutral spine as we do. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. So sliding the hands to the shins and bringing yourself up to where the abdomen is drawing in and strong to support the lower back. Take a breath here. Make adjustments as needed. Bend the knees. Bring your hands to the floor. Let's step back into downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. And let's move into high plank. So the shoulders can come over the wrists. The thighs are nice and strong, but if that doesn't work for you, coming down to knees certainly helps. Sternum draws forward and feel strength coming from the ground through the arms, swirling around your abdomen, going into the legs. Lots of strength here, but also some ease. Bend the elbows, pointing them back and lower down. Your elbows can also bend out slightly like an arrow. Coming into low cobra, uncurl the toes. Draw the hip points, the front of the hips, up toward the face. Tailbone is long. Inhale, lift the chest. Draw the sternum forward and make adjustments as you need. So there should be no pain in the lower back. You can come up as high or as low as you like. One more inhale, exhale, and lower down. Let's press back into down dog. So pressing up into a knee plank, curl the toes under, and lifting up into downward facing dog. That transition, you can also take child's pose before coming into down dog. And bend your knees, look forward, and jump or step, step. So I'm going to step, step. Inhale, come halfway up. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold. Are you feeling stable? Are you feeling a little bit introverted because we're in a forward fold? Those are good things. Press through the feet, rising to stand. Inhale, look up, reach up. Exhale, palms to the heart. Inhale, lift the chest, look up here. Forward fold, arms by the sides, or hands could even come into prayer. There's lots of options for the arms. Do what you need to today. Inhale, draw the sternum forward. Exhale, bring your hands to the floor, to the mat, and jump, or you can even step back. Coming into high plank or knee plank. We'll come into chaturanga, either halfway or all the way down to the mat. Inhale to upward facing dog or low cobra. Roll the chest open, draw the navel in slightly, and hug the ankles in. Exhale to downward facing dog. So you could either flip right over the feet or do as I did. I just lower to my knees to take some load off my lower back. 2 more breaths here. Notice how your wrists are feeling, your ankles. Notice how the hips are feeling. And then bend your knees, look forward, and either step, step, or jump. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway up. Inhaling here. And exhale, forward fold. Hold for 2 breaths. Inhale, rise to stand. We have one more here. Let's go straight into it this time. Push the hips back, forward fold. Exhale. Inhale, come halfway up. Take your time if you need to. Exhale to high plank. And lower chaturanga. All the way down or halfway. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 rounds of breath. Bend your knees and just step your right leg forward. Plant the back foot down at an angle. Inhale, warrior 1. So I encourage people here, if this feels a lot of congestion in the hips or it's hard to wrap that left hip forward, widen your stance. So step that left leg out to the left, right leg out to the right. You're in this wide warrior 1. Take a breath here and play with your stance if needed. Find a lot of power in your legs, so that means turning on the muscles of the back leg. And you can experience that as you press the foot down, pull the thigh back, bend the front knee, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Step the right foot back. Take a breath here. Inhale, shift forward to high plank. Lower chaturanga to the ground or halfway. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. This time, stepping the right foot forward, lower the back foot down at an angle. Inhale, rising up, warrior 1. Notice how you're feeling. Do you need to step the feet wider away from each other? Pull the left hip back, the right hip forward. Lift the chest, lift the arms. Be very active in the back leg. Pull that thigh bone back. And then bend the front leg deeply. Keeping the weight to the heel. Lift your chest. One more breath. And then coming down. Downward facing dog, step the left leg back. Either hanging out in down dog or taking a vinyasa. Rolling forward, bending the elbows. Finding your back bend here. Downward dog. Look forward, bend the knees and jump or step. Inhale, halfway up. And heel toe your feet wide, coming into Malasana. Malasana is a deep squat. So the toes point out at a diagonal. You can take a blanket underneath the heels and you'll sink the hips down, lift the chest. Palms together, upper arms to the inside of the leg. Guess what? If this is too extreme, use a prop. Taking a block underneath your hips. Feel stable. Draw the ribs in here. Noticing your breath. Making sure you've taken a moment for you. And then for some, you'll come into Bakasana, which is crow pose, or hanging out in Malasana still. So for crow, you walk the hands forward, lift the hips, spread the fingers wide, and wrap the inner leg around the upper arm, and just lean forward. You can stop right here, or draw the navel in, lift the feet up, gazes forward. Take a breath, hug everything in. Slowly lower back into Malasana and take a breath. So if crow pose isn't your jam today, don't sweat it. Do your own thing, all right? When you're in yoga class, I encourage you to find you, okay? You're learning, you're growing, but at the end of it all, it's up to you to choose to be who you are. Let's forward fold. Slowly roll up to stand. Draw the palms together at the heart. Close the eyes. Connecting to your breath. Noticing the sensations of the body. Tuck the chin, open the eyes, and release the palm here. So I encourage for triangle pose, which we're on to next, for people to take blocks. So take your blocks or large cups or large books that won't collapse and put them on either end of the mat. Bring your feet together or just underneath the hips. Bend the knees and step wide or jump wide. Your choice. Press the feet down into the ground, hug the ankles in, draw the feet toward one another. Toes are parallel. Great, bring your hands to your hips. Spin the left toes in, that's my leg here, and the right toes out. Press down through the outer edge of that foot and turn on the muscles here of this leg. Press down also through the front big toe and reach the arms wide here. From here, begin to stretch the hip back. As you reach forward, think about this side of the rib cage coming over the leg. And this is where you'll catch hold of your block. Bring it to the inside of the ankle and start to turn the chest up here. So there's a lot of body proportions involved in triangle pose. What you're looking for is a strong, balanced stance, really. That's your shape. So the legs are strong, you're not feeling wobbly, you're not worried about falling. So if you're worried about balance, take this to a wall where the wall is behind you, supporting you. Another thing to keep in mind is often people may try to crank down so their arm reaches the ground. We want to have length on both sides of the body. So quite often that means bringing your hand up higher on a block. One more breath. Great, use your legs and side body strength to rise up and parallel the feet. Take a break if you need to by stepping the feet together or moving on. So spinning the right toes in, turn and pivot the left toes out. Side of the body, actually the hip points are facing the side of the mat. Reach the arms wide here. Begin to push the hips back as you reach that arm forward, side of the body draping over the leg. Take your hand to the block, just to the inside of the ankle, and lift the arm up. Now spin the chest up and draw the navel in. You can think about that front leg hip, almost like the energy is rising up into that hip socket. Take another breath here. Relax something, your jaw, your feet, your toes, any gripping. One more breath here. Press through the feet, rise to stand. Parallel the feet and step the feet together. Take a breath here in Tadasana. So do what feels natural for you. Feet are underneath the hips and it helps you to feel sturdy and strong. Moving on to Warrior Two. So move the blocks off to the side. Standing in the middle of your mat again. Bend your knees and jump or step wide. Spin the left toes in and the right toes out. Making sure the shoulders stay over the hips so you're not leaning forward here. This time the spine is vertical and long. From here, arms spread wide. Use the muscles inside the arms to support this. And then bend that front knee. So quite often you'll see or hear keeping this front thigh parallel to the ground. That's great if you're hypermobile or you've been practicing yoga for years and years. But for a lot of us, we just need to find strength, but also stability and comfort in our pose. So move to where it feels right for you. You want to have the knee not buckling in. That's one thing. You also want the weight to be in the heel, not in the front of the foot. You want the shoulders over the hips, ribs are in, and this back leg is strong. Again, you're using the muscles of the leg. Finally, your gaze is over the front fingers. Ultimately, you should just feel steady and strong. Hands to the hips. Straighten that front leg, parallel the feet. Take a breath. Second side. Spin the right toes in, turn the left toes out. Trunk, hip points facing the long end of the mat, so you're not turning here. Open the arms up and bend the knee any amount. Lift the chest, spine is long. Find your legs nice and sturdy. Gaze is over front fingers. So if you have more room, making sure the knee stays over the ankle, bend the knee. You can widen your stance. Draw the left hip in toward the middle of the body. Hands to the hips. Press the legs straight. Parallel the feet. And jump or step your feet together. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the arms and forward fold from here. 2 breaths. Resetting here in Uttanasana. And slowly rolling up to stand. So we'll come to the mat now. Coming to hands and knees. Draw the ribs in. Draw the hip points toward the face. Knees are underneath the hips. Fingertips spread wide. Wrists are underneath the shoulder. Uncurl the toe. Relax the jaw. As you draw the ribs in, extend the left leg out. Toes point down toward the ground. So before you lift the leg, spin the inner thigh up toward the sky or toward the ceiling. And draw the navel in. Then mindfully lift that leg, any amount. So you don't want to lift it so far to where the lower back is dumping. You want strength in the lower back. If it's there for you, extending the right arm like you're shaking someone's hand. Hold for another breath. Slowly release down, taking resting heroes for a moment. Knees wide, feet together. Head relaxes. If the head doesn't quite reach, bringing a block or a blanket under the head, just making sure that the neck is long. Come back up onto hands and knees again, knees underneath the hips, toes uncurled, fingertips wide, wrists underneath the shoulders. Draw the chest, sternum forward. Draw the ribs in. Lean the weight into the left knee and extend the right foot, nice and straight here. Press the toe down into the mat. Curl the inner thigh of the right leg up to the ceiling or the sky. Press the leg down, draw the ribs and navel in. Lift the leg. Again, not collapsing in the lower back. Leg does not have to be super high here. We're looking for strength. Extending the left arm out. Neck is long. One more breath here. Slowly lowering down. Either taking resting heroes again or coming to forearms for dolphin pose. Intertwine the fingers. Curl the toes under and lift the hips. Making sure the elbows are hugging in. Walk the feet forward a little. Again, make sure the elbows are not too wide. They're underneath the shoulders more or less. Let the head hang. Push the hips up. But if that's extreme, keep a soft, subtle bend in the knees. Knowing that perfectionism or perfection is quite often an illusion, achieving that. But knowing on the inside that you're perfect just as you are, with full knowledge of your strengths, weaknesses, preferences, dislikes. But knowing that who you are is who you are. Being engaged with that. One more inhale, exhale. Walk the feet back. If you're in resting heroes pose, come to knee plank, all of us. Forearms are parallel. Begin to walk the knees back a little bit more. Draw the ribs in. Press the toes down. Lift the knees up. Or guess what? You probably guessed it. Knees can be down. Sternum draws forward, but the ribs are hugging in. Finding strength here. 2 more breaths. One more inhale, exhale. Slowly lower down. Walking back to Balasana, child's pose, knees together. If that doesn't work, knees come wide. Find a resting posture. Slide the hands behind you if you're in child's. Slowly come up, taking Shavasana here for 1 minute. Lying on your back, palms facing up, legs rolled out. Find rest for the next few moments. Allow the body to relax. Finding yourself united. Breath, body, mind, all still, all restful. One more breath here, in and out. Slowly roll yourself to the side. Lie on the side of your body for a moment. Take your time, press yourself up to a seat. Cross your legs. Reclose the eyes. Draw the palms together and sit tall. Observing what is. You created your own shapes today. You learned some skills or reinforced skills you already knew. You're committed to your practice and to yourself. Honoring that today. Bow the head toward the heart and rub the palms. Cup your palms over the eyes. Just taking one more moment here. Blink the eyes open into your hands. Move your palms away from your face. Thank you so much. Thank you for building your own shapes with me today. I hope to see you again soon here on the mat. Bye.